Well, the State Department has agreed to provide the watchdog group Judicial Watch with recovered emails from Hillary Clinton's private server. So more conflicts of interest may be found. 44 unreleased, prior to this point, emails show stunning pay-for-play revelations, including how wealthy contributors seeking influence or prestigious government jobs could give cash to get access to Clinton's inner circle. Judicial Watch Investigations Director Chris Farrell is with me now. So, Chris, great to see you right here in New York.
Good to be with you.
And congratulations, because you, by suing the government and having to sue the government under the Freedom of Information Act, are actually giving all citizens the same information. Because if you weren't here, what would happen? Everybody would just spin their side?
Well, folks wouldn't even know about it in the first place. Our litigation is, in fact, what uncovered these emails, because the State Department came to us and sheepishly admitted about a year after we had a dismissed case, hey, we've discovered a new universe of documents. And we asked them, what do you mean universe? And then they came forward and said, well, we have the Secretary's emails. We went into a federal court in front of Judge Emmett Sullivan and had a case reopened, which is extraordinary. It never happens in Freedom of Information Act litigation. But it was done that way because the State Department admitted in federal papers that they had engaged in a fraud and misrepresentation to the court. That's serious stuff.
So that was your crowbar in the door.
It was, and it got the case reopened, and it really compelled the government to produce all these records. Shy of that lawsuit, no one ever knows anything about Hillary Clinton's emails.
So what do you think could be found in them?
Yeah, well, we've already found some pretty damning stuff, right? We have Doug Band, the Clinton Foundation director, telling Huma Abedin, hey, I've got this Lebanese Nigerian felon.
Treat him carefully.
Right, he's a high-dollar donor. We care about him. Any thinking person who reads this stuff, you can smell the corruption on it. I mean, it's horrific. So we just have a few hundred emails where those popped up. Now we're going to be given thousands of emails that have been forensically recovered by the FBI, because when Mrs. Clinton absconded with those records, and she did, and only years later produced them, she destroyed more than 30,000, according to her representations. So now there's thousands of things that she didn't want you to see that we're going to get access to.
So we were just talking about with the governor and also with my colleague Catherine Herridge the idea that the FBI has turned over the notes from that 3-hour interview to certain members of Congress. Do you think there's going to be any overlap in the emails? What do you think you're going to see in the notes? Or actually, we don't know if anybody in the public is actually going to see the notes. Right.
The notes are what are referred to as 302s. They're investigative memoranda for record, and it details the content of what the interview was. And so it's the agent's impressions and sort of recollection of what transpired. There was no recording, and she wasn't under oath. But those records, will they ever leak out of Congress? Who knows? Maybe, maybe not. But what we get in our documents that will be produced to us by court order will really sort of form an index, or almost sort of reverse engineering of what was in those 302s. We will see those forensically recovered emails, and I think there'll be a lot of interesting information in there.
So who is speaking with you? Are any members of Congress who will see the notes also speaking with you?
No, we don't do that sort of thing. We sue to get these records. We get them, and we make them public on our website. It's a transparency issue.
Service.
Yeah, for us, it's principles over politics. We are committed to open government and to educating the public about the operations of government. And the best way to do that for us is get these records, make them public, let people read it for themselves. You know, when they read Doug Band telling Huma Abedin to set up a special meeting for a high-dollar donor, you can draw your own conclusions.
Chris Farrell, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Many citizens grateful to you, no doubt, from Judicial Watch.